This is how to survive the CIA enhanced interrogation, y'all. If y'all ever get captured by the CIA, this is how you survive it. All right, without further ado, my guy Tommy G has brought us some shit. Let's go ahead and do this while we eat. Let's go ahead and do this. Gotta put out for the YouTube as well.
Wait, some people say, if you're, hey!
I guess he himself is getting, you know, pulled aside and things like that, and we gonna see what happens.
What do you want to know about this answer?
He wants to know the truth.
Tell me about what you feel emotionally during an interrogation.
Anger. You're looking at humans as an information source, and if you really think about it, that's all a human being is. The more you fight, the harder you breathe. And the harder you breathe, the more your body demands oxygen.
But breathe less. I mean, if they're gonna torture you, they're gonna torture you.
Bring your
right?
feet together. Stay in that position.
You've given me 3 answers to this one simple question. Why would I waste my time with another question? Do you recommend people try this at home?
Absolutely not. Do not try anything you see depicted in this video at home. Have you ever wondered what it's like to be interrogated at a CIA black site? Well, I certainly have, and to find out what it's really like, I volunteered to experience it for myself. For my interrogators, I recruited former CIA agent Andrew Bustamante and ex-Blackwater mercenary Trevor Fortner to take me through the most commonly used enhanced interrogation techniques. I then rented a
I've actually seen that guy before, the guy with the furry hair. I've seen them before.
scary-looking kidnapping van and warehouse in Milwaukee, and I invited my friend, podcaster Julian Dory, to share in the suffering alongside me. Enhanced interrogation techniques, or EITs, have been some of the most controversial methods the United States has used in the war on terror. These tactics were designed after 9/11 by 2 psychologists, James Mitchell and Bruce Jessen, under the premise that techniques which avoid permanent physical harm are not considered torture. EITs were used by the CIA from 2002 until President Obama banned them with an executive order in 2009 due to the growing consensus that these methods violate human rights, international law, and do not actually produce reliable intelligence. And allegedly, they are no longer in use today. So folks, join me now in a CIA
Well, shout out to Obama for stopping that, because these boys are getting tortured without being hurt.
black site simulation. Disclaimer, do not try this at home. These scenes are simulations performed by trained professionals with years of experience and a nurse on site. All participants in this video are friends in real life and consenting adults. Quick announcement, boys. It's time to go guns blazing into the summer, so we launched a shirt to represent that.
Hey, no ad.
To pick up Julian Dory. Julian Dory is serving as an American citizen to show what it would look like if a U.S. citizen was picked up by authorities for any kind of intensive questioning. When you see this hand signal, that means it's go time. And when you guys see this, that means it's go now.
Go.
What's up, everybody? This is Julian Dory. I'm coming to you live. We are covering the Kia Boy story. Now,
Julian Dory?
yeah.
Need you to come with me, sir.
L acting. I would have tried to run away.
Oh, this is a day ruiner.
We're about to go pick up Tommy, and we've set up a scenario where Tommy thinks that he's going to be interviewing several people locally as one of his normal videos before he goes to a different location to get snatched. Instead, we're going to snatch him in the middle of the interview in front of a watching audience so we can see how they react and so that we can get the jump on Tommy.
All right, guys, we're boots on the ground in Milwaukee talking about some controversial issues. Guys, can I get your take on what's happening in Los Angeles right now?
We haven't really heard anything much about it. We're from the UK, so.
Do you have any takes on what's happening in Los Angeles right now?
Oh, it's horrible. All this property's being destroyed.
Are you worried that this might usher in the beginning of a surveillance state where database is kept? Your name, your home address.
Usher in? We're already on a database.
About 15 feet. Back to our 5 o'clock.
You guys take position behind it.
It's up to us.
So are you afraid of a company like Palantir coming in here and eroding our freedoms?
You know, I don't know a whole lot about Palantir, but
The counterpoint, one more question, the counterpoint is some people say,
And when you guys see this, that means it's go now.
hey! What the feds! Come my lawyer! Dan Adams! Who is that?
What the did you do? It's Julie. Dick.
What the are you doing here? What is this, 50 Shades of Grey? My wife doesn't even do this to me. Hey, let me keep my shoes out, my Crocs! Hey!
If you continue to resist, I'll add more strength. 3 minutes to destination.
3 minutes.
It was only a few minutes in and things were not looking good. I was zip tied, there was a knee on my back that was making my breathing more difficult, and already a creeping sense of powerlessness was setting in.
Not bad. I mean, I'll be honest, you gotta feel powerless in this situation, bro. You strapped up, you can't do anything, you're looking down. Scary, yo.
Standing. Walk forward.
Huh?
All the way down.
You saying?
It was quite the first date.
Why? Tommy, put your head in the corner. Step your feet back.
Just want to on my feet. You could just say please next time.
Stand. Stop.
Elevator.
Kneel.
My name is Andrew Bustamante, and I'm a former clandestine CIA intelligence officer. I served with CIA from 2007 to 2014. When I was with the military, I learned about an introduction to interrogation, and then when I was with the CIA, I became part of multiple teams that were engaged in debriefing hostile intelligence targets from terrorist organizations. Some of those operations included enhanced interrogation briefings.
Room is closed. Lean back. Stay in
By enhanced, I'm sure they mean this. Okay.
this position.
Why are you doing this?
Quiet.
I didn't sign up for this Craigslist ad.
All these techniques you see are outlined in a top secret CIA handbook. While much of it is redacted, we can show you some of the tactics approved for use, like facial holds, stress positions, facial and belly slaps, and use of cold. These methods are delivered in a calculated manner designed to bring a detainee to such a level of discomfort that they want nothing more than for it to end. And what I want to draw your attention to is how pages 46 through 67 are redacted, leaving me to wonder what could possibly be worse than waterboarding, mock executions, or being shackled for days.
Stand.
Mock executions, meaning like the water ship.
Let it happen, Tom.
So let it happen. No, don't let it happen. These boys ain't resisting.
Now, because we're trying to keep Tommy safe and we're trying to abide by YouTube principles, we've let him remain in his underpants. Otherwise, if this was a true interrogation, we would have stripped him down fully.
Really? So So you get stripped ass naked to make you feel uncomfortable, I guess. In this situation. Ass to chair. I think before, when these, sorry, in the beginning when they said that these interrogations were a thing, I think they said that you couldn't hurt the people, but you can do things like slap them and things like that. You're not hurting them, you know. You're just, you know, you toughen them up a little bit, you know.
Not that dangerous. You guys gotta do this.
Lift your head up. Lift your head up.
Uh-oh.
My name is Trevor Fortner. I spent 12 years with the United States Navy. 3 of those was with an Army Green Beret counterterrorism team. About 4 years with Blackwater, and then 4 years working for the United Arab Emirates Presidential Guard.
Sit tight, gentlemen. We have both of our captives in custody. We have put them into a position where they do not have control over their own movement or their own location. This is part of a psychological breaking down process to prepare them for what we're going to do with them next. We're going to move them into a series of stress positions. Those stress positions are positions that are unnatural to the body.
So first you get tied up and stripped naked, then you get put in different weird positions after you're tied up and stripped naked.
Let's put them in transit position.
Secure his arm. Bring your feet together.
Do you think it'd be accurate if people assume that most CIA interrogators are some sort of sociopath or psychopath?
That would not be a safe assumption. There are sociopaths that exist in federal government. I would not say that there are psychopaths that exist in federal government. There's a very detailed vetting process that prevents those people from becoming uniformed, sworn officers to the Constitution.
You know what's a hassle? Getting interrogated by the CIA. But what can help avoid you some hassles is the sponsor of today's video, AnyDesk. AnyDesk is a remote viewing software that helps you take care of business. I mean, picture this. You're on the phone for the 9th time.
Stop resisting.
Stop resisting.
Secure it on the right.
Stop resisting.
Right? Complete.
The first thing that's really hard to come to grips with is how utterly powerless you are in this situation. Whether it's my neck being held against the van or my head being held in a corner of the elevator as they're bringing me from one spot to another. When you're bound and there's no potential, even if you squeeze a little bit or try and move, you're going nowhere. It's a level of powerlessness that I've never experienced in my life.
That's crazy, bro. How there's a book for this, how to torture people.
In the interrogations that you participated in, do you feel like that person deserved to be in that chair having those things happen?
I have met more people in my life that deserve a bullet in the face than you have met people in your life that you would like to have a drink with. We're simulating an interrogation, so that means that Tommy and Julian have to refrain from giving us truthful answers. Their goal is to...
He said, I have met more people in my life that deserve a bullet in their face. I'm sure that's because of things that they've done. But he must have done that job for a long time to say that he's met more people. He must have done that for a long time.
resist the interrogation. Our goal is to succeed in the interrogation. So we're going to be asking them very basic questions, questions that you know the answer to and we know the answer to, but when they answer those basic questions incorrectly, that's Tommy and Julian's way of showing us that they are resisting the questioning. Question number 1. What is 1 plus 2?
3.
3 is the answer?
Can you tell me why I'm here first?
The question is, what is 1 plus 2? You've answered 3.
To the best of my knowledge, that's 4.
Answer the question. You previously said 1 plus 2 is 3. Did you not, Tommy?
I don't recall. It's easier if you untie me. I can answer all these questions you want.
Answer his question. I wonder if a little more time is going to bring you back to your original answer. We'll find out.
What was the longest period of time that you saw someone get interrogated for.
15 to 30 minutes at a time, usually during scheduled interrogations, and oftentimes after the interrogation actually occurred. It was our chance to...
What you doing?
Eating, watching a video. Or doing
Yeah,
a
I just
reaction
made
to a video.
food.
Yeah, took a minute. I'll be ready in like 15, 20, something like that.
review footage of the interrogation to see if any significant intelligence was shared.
Tell me about the torture memos.
There were a lot of memos that came about during the question of whether CIA was torturing folks in Guantanamo Bay and other secret sites. The memos themselves were really part of internal classified CIA documentation.
Bro,
the memos, the
this
traffic did confirm
YouTube, and I
that
don't know anything about bourbon.
What bourbon?
I'll be watching this. Huh?
You said bourbon?
Yeah, like the
alcohol? Like
Yeah.
the liquor?
enhanced interrogation was being used and that the
This shit.
techniques that went into enhanced interrogation did suit or did fit civilian court definition of torture. At this point, we have Tommy put in what's known as a transit position. That position is very stressful because it makes blood rush to the head and it doesn't give the lower extremities or upper extremities any opportunity to stretch out without pulling on the other extremity. So it's a very uncomfortable
watching this
position
nigga
that's
just travel
designed
all
to
over and buying
increase the
fucking
blood
bourbon.
flow to his head, which will come with headaches and lightheadedness.
I don't know
and
shit
some
about
other things.
bourbon
We have a
because of
nurse on
him.
site to make sure that we don't lose Tommy so he doesn't pass
I
out
have
or
an
hurt himself.
understanding of it.
We want him to feel what's really happening.
Oh, just the warehouse, no warehouse.
I'm still with him.
Stop talking.
Looks like a lot of that. There's no warehouse. Who do you guys work for?
Stop talking.
One of the key elements that we're going to use against both Julian and
boy
Tommy
Tom-
is the
my
element
boy
of
Tommy
time.
really getting
Stressful
tortured, that's
positions
crazy.
and long durations of time break down an individual's psychology and makes them more susceptible to cooperation.
What you personally have done within interrogations, you would stand behind and said, yes, I did the right thing.
Absolutely. Are you with us?
Yep, I'm here.
You guys doing?
The is this shit? Go to your stomach.
What the you guys want from me?
Absolutely. Are you with us?
Yep, I'm here.
You guys doing?
The is this shit? Go to your stomach.
What the you guys want from me?
Get to your stomach.
I'm back in transit. It looks like a restraint broke.
Copy.
It's a simple question, Tommy. What's 2 plus 1? You said
told you.
3, and then you said 4.
I told you the answer.
Sit.
What was the answer? Transit position, please, gentlemen. Transit position,
Let's
please.
negotiate here.
Hey, bring your feet together.
Can we work this out another way?
Feet together. Stay in that position.
What is 1 plus 2?
What do you want to know about this answer?
I want to know the truth.
You have a partner sitting next to you. He's been sitting here peacefully, untouched, while you've been deciding the answer to 1 plus 3. I'm afraid that if you struggle to remember the answer to 1 plus 3, you may need your partner to help jog your memory. You think you can remember the answer to 1 plus 3, Tommy?
I think I can figure it out.
Why don't you give it to us?
1 plus 3, 5.
I don't think that's the answer that we're looking for.
What answer are you looking for?
Looking for the correct answer, Tommy. Every time you hear a slap, Tommy, that's not yours. That's somebody else paying for you. Because you won't answer a simple question. What's it gonna hurt anybody to tell me the answer to 1 plus 2? It's not gonna hurt anybody. Except
Hey, well,
when you don't.
I'm letting Rubio get slapped. That boy Rubio gonna get slapped and slapped and slapped. I'm gonna keep answering. I'm watching a CIA interrogation, and Tommy G, he's like in the scenario, and Tommy's not answering the question on purpose to see like what they would do, and they got his partner there, so he's like, all right,
It's the CIA shit.
yeah.
You got that black nigga with the afro with the headband on.
Yeah,
The CIA guy.
yeah.
Fucking hate that nigga.
Yeah. And I know I've seen them somewhere before.
He does
But-
all those little podcast shit with that Navy guy, and he always explains shit about the CIA and all that.
Oh,
bullshit, how
okay.
he's CIA. Yada
Okay.
yada yada.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what he's
military
doing.
motherfucker saying he ain't shit, bro. He's just a regular fucking office person.
You have his partner is here. He's just sitting there. So he said every time Tommy doesn't answer the question, he's gonna slap the partner. So that's why I was like, yeah, I'm letting Rubio get slapped.
Don't tell me the truth. Tommy, 1 + 2 equals.
Julian, what should I tell him? 1 + 2?
You've given me 3 answers to this one simple question. Why would I waste my time with another question?
Maybe your questions aren't very good.
This stress position was becoming increasingly more unbearable. As the minutes passed, pain was creeping into my back and hips, but I knew it wasn't enough to make me fold. We made it through phase 1 without breaking, and now it was time for a quick post-game interview.
When you've got snatch, what went through your mind?
In a real scenario, it's better to die in the street than get taken anywhere you go.
Describe what it's like to be hooded.
It smells like shit. I mean, being face down on a metal floor ain't exactly comfortable.
He said it's better to die in the street than to get taken anywhere. Fuck. Damn, that's a good question though for y'all. What would y'all rather? Y'all rather get taken, or y'all rather die in the street?
Die in the streets.
Rather die in the streets and get tortured?
Mm-hmm.
You think you're gonna die after being tortured?
I mean, yeah, but then, no. Do you want to just die, or do you want to go through fucking rigorous fucking torture then die? Like, nah, kill me now. If I know I'm gonna die, kill me now. The fuck.
I think I'm gonna take the torture first. Fuck it.
Nah.
Yeah, fuck it. He said,
How long do you think you've been apprehended in this building? How many minutes?
35.
I think those stress positions felt a lot longer than they really were. It probably was actually 2 or 3 minutes each time you kept me there, but it felt like 7, 8, 9 minutes.
There's an element of, it sounds like, inconsistent time between the two of you. Part of that, do you think, is because Julian's in a comfortable position compared to Tommy?
Absolutely.
Gentlemen, let's bag him.
I would.
From the interrogations you participated in, do you have any lingering negative side effects, bad dreams, guilt, regret?
I have flashes of memory, and when those memories flash through, they don't cause me trauma or stress. They're more like an interesting moment of privileged insight.
so they're not trauma. That shit don't bother me. It's like privileged insight. Get the fuck. He's pretty much proud of what he pretty much said that he's proud of what he does and what he knows that he's doing.
Tell me about what you feel emotionally during an interrogation.
Anger is the driving force in an interrogation. Anger is the thing you have to hold back because it can drive you to make some very rash and unproductive decisions. Tommy, the original question we asked was 1 + 3. Do you recall that conversation?
I think I remember that.
So can you please just make this easy on all of us? Can you tell us the correct answer to 1 + 2?
I already told you the answer.
1 + 2, Tommy.
1 + 2? 1 + 2?
Tell me the process of breaking down a human.
Everybody has a different recipe. For some people it's emotional, for some people it's physiological, for some people they just make mistakes in what they say, and then when you throw that mistake back in their face, they logically, rationally can't regain their footing. So people break down in different ways. Some people are emotionally distant or cold, and rationally they break down. Some people are physiologically strong, and they don't like discomfort. Some people are physiologically weak and gross and disgusting, so they already feel uncomfortable all the time, and there's no amount of pain you can put them in that makes them feel that much worse than they live. But in all cases, you're kind of mixing the three together to get that perfect concoction where somebody...
Okay, so it's either torture, mind games, torture, mind games, torture, mind games. Okay.
melts down.
Until
Let me
it works.
change the question. It could go away, and here's the question that could make it all go away. What is the capital of the United States of America?
Bandcamp.
While Americans are celebrating our country,
His homie getting slapped. Slapping the shit out of homie. Shout out to homie. The homie just standing there not grunting or nothing. He just taking it. What the fuck? Oh, they went homie. Little shower.
At this point, I'll take the capital or 1 plus 2, Tommy.
Speak through the thing. Maybe you can't hear
A
me.
little bit hard. Let me get a health check. Let me get a health check. Sounds like you're healthy.
Sounds like you're healthy.
What makes something torture?
When I think of torture, I think back in Vietnam, some of the things that were being done in Afghanistan and Iraq, that I'm not trying to elicit information from you, I'm just physically punishing you.
Give you a break, Tommy.
That boy just like what he do. He like to just beat the shit out of you until you crying, and then he get the information. He ain't trying to get no info. He just trying to beat your ass.
Share the burden a bit. Tell me the truthful answer to 1 plus 2, or the truthful answer to the capital of the United States, and that hood is coming off.
The wet hood was giving me a creeping sense of suffocation. Each breath became more difficult, and this fed a cycle of rising panic. With no end in sight, suddenly giving up the answer to 1 plus 2 didn't seem like such a big deal.
3 is the answer. Can I get some scissors, please?
My breaking point was for sure the water and ice scenario. Not necessarily because of the cold. The cold was uncomfortable, but it was the struggling to breathe as the mask kept closing in. And then as I continued my struggle, it only got more pronounced of I would blow and it would go away from me, and every time I would inhale, it was just a cycle that started amplifying itself. Talk to the speed at which people normally break in an interrogation.
In a proper interrogation, you usually have some sort of compliance within the first 7 to 15 minutes.
It only takes 10 or 15 minutes to break a good amount of people.
10 to 15 minutes right away? That fast? Y'all gotta get a little tougher than that. What the hell?
Yes.
Welcome back to the land of the living, sir. How are you feeling?
Not swell.
You told us a truthful answer that you were supposed to hide. Do you understand that? Why'd you decide to tell us the answer?
If you're able to keep me here indefinitely, there's no point. It's just a matter of when.
Do you know how long you were exposed to cold water? 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
No way.
Humbling. It's humbling, man.
I later learned that this ordeal took much longer than 3 minutes, but in that moment, Andy lied about me folding quickly in order to further psychologically confuse me and break me down.
It just felt like you were suffocating. Your every breath was a fight.
Did you know the answer to 1 plus 2?
Okay, so that's a good tactic. Lie to them about the time. That's another strategy. You tell them less time, then they fuck up. They're like, what the fuck? What? That was only 3 minutes? I don't know if I could do that again.
Yeah.
So you knew the entire time, and you didn't tell us. That must mean you also know the answer to the capital of the United States, right?
I never got asked.
Can you give us the answer to the capital of the United States, Julian?
Guadalajara.
I mean, my geography isn't the best in the world,
It is mine.
but I would assume you would know the answer to capital of your own country.
Well, why are you
I actually don't know that. Maybe it's Washington, D.C., but...
assuming shit, Andy?
I think Julian needs some time in the transit position. You have a chance to do the same thing, Julian. You can also cooperate before we really start getting creative. You want to tell me that capital of the United States?
I already did.
Let's try it one last time, can we, Julian? The capital of the United States?
Guadalajara.
You know, most of the world doesn't have drinkable water. Yeah. You're going to have all the drinkable water you could want. Did you hear Tommy talk about how hard it was to breathe?
I heard it.
Yeah. If you need us, just give us a shout.
Hey.
But we'll see what a little bit of time does to help you out. Let's help Julian sit up, huh? We can get him on his knees. Fairly popular in the United States, of which I am asking you to explain the capital. And that term is waterboarding. Have you heard that term before, Julian?
Once or twice?
Yeah. We're not going to waterboard you. What we are going to do is share with you an experience that is parallel to,
That boy is shaking. He about to break.
alternate to that experience. We can help end the shivering, we can help end the shaking. It can all go away. This is your alternate experience. The more you fight, the harder you breathe. And the harder you breathe, the more your body demands oxygen. So if you want an insider tip, you have to calm yourself.
You personally have been waterboarded.
Yes.
Describe that experience.
It sucks. As soon as that panic sets in, there's no calming yourself down to come to the surface because the water just keeps coming.
Do you know what the capital is for the United States?
You worked hard to cross that finish line.
So he's doing something a little different than Tommy. He's actually fighting back. And I like that because
Now it's time to celebrate.
Tommy was just kind of sitting there. This guy right here is actually tussling. Oh, he says the answer though. Look.
Sets in, there's no calming yourself down to come to the surface because the water just keeps coming.
Do you know what the capital is for the United States? All right, take it off, take it off, take it off, take it off. Good man.
I ain't dying for this shit.
Was there a point in the interrogation today where you felt your confidence crack, where you felt it change, where you went from being cocky and boisterous to being nervous or afraid?
There were 2 times when you went into the second round of the waterboarding, and after in the first round, like that whole thing and the ordeal and the aftermath, we were looking at the video afterwards, where like my head's being held back and I couldn't breathe. And that lasted, like you let that sit, you let that marinate. I was looking at the video, like that marinated longer than I thought. When you came back for the second round and I couldn't breathe again, it was like the most helpless feeling. And I was like, that's it.
Do you believe waterboarding to be a form of torture?
I do not personally believe waterboarding to be a form of torture. I think it is a highly aggressive, very psychological.
Shut the fuck up. That's not a form of torture? How is that not a form of torture, man? My man can't breathe, he about to die. If you can almost kill somebody that way, you can almost, man, that is torture, G. My man found every word in the dictionary to replace torture. What the fuck? He said, I do not think that waterboarding is torture.
Do you believe waterboarding to be a form of torture?
I do not personally believe waterboarding to be a form of torture. I think it is a highly aggressive, very psychological.
It's a highly aggressive form of hurting somebody.
Logically traumatizing.
Traumatizing, logically, okay.
Very physiologically demanding form of enhanced interrogation, but it does not create long-term handicaps. It does not have long-term implications for physical damage.
So do you think it should still be?
So if you're whipping somebody, that's not torturing somebody? If you're slapping somebody over and over again? I don't know.
In use today?
I think all the enhanced interrogation techniques should remain available to the U.S. government, the DoD, and the intelligence agencies to use to keep Americans safe. Tell me what went through your head.
It was a rush, man.
I mean, to keep people safe, yeah, but I do think that it is torture.
It was a real rush, because like, when we got up and you said alternate to waterboarding, I knew that was gonna turn into pretty fucking close to waterboarding. And now obviously waterboard, you're actually all the way back. They're pouring the water straight into your face just continuously, so it's worse.
Do you believe waterboarding to be torture?
No, simply because it doesn't evoke. I don't have the intent to cause you permanent or severe injury.
What's your take on Guantanamo Bay, and do you think this will prove to be a blight on American history?
I think American history is going to forget about Guantanamo Bay in the next 3 presidential cycles at most.
But in your personal opinion, are you proud of what happened at Guantanamo Bay?
I'm not proud of most.
What is that Guantanamo Bay?
That's in Cuba. That's where they keep all the terrorists and torture them.
Oh.
It's a prison, but it's for like terrorists and shit where You know, where they do crazy shit, but you know they always gonna deny it.
Yeah, okay.
Of what we have to do to keep America safe. I think Guantanamo Bay was an effort to try to improve our national security against a threat that was adaptable, uncontrollable, transnational, and radically motivated.
So if you were the President of the United States during that time, you would have said, yes, continue what we're doing at Guantanamo Bay.
If I was the President of the United States, we would have continued what we were doing at Guantanamo Bay.
Can you provide an instance where EIT resulted in actionable intelligence that helped save human lives?
There is no instance that can be shared with the American public about a moment when classified information was successfully extracted with an enhanced interrogation technique.
Okay, beautiful answer, right? It's classified information. You can't speak about it.
By nature of the fact that the information is classified.
Allowing 9/11 to happen was regarded as a massive intelligence failure by the CIA and other three-letter agencies. And in order to prevent a future attack, the CIA decided to go gloves off and get aggressive to find ways to extract information faster from potential terrorists. Enter enhanced interrogation techniques. The CIA paid psychologists James Mitchell and Bruce Jessen over $80 million to design methods to quickly break down detainees and produce actionable intel.
Damn, but who are these guys that they get paid $80 million to come up with interrogation techniques? Who were they? Were they professional interrogators themselves or what?
The key laboratory for developing these methods was the infamous black site in Afghanistan.
Got paid 80 mil to come up with interrogation techniques. What?
Known as the Salt Pit. And for context, some of the people sent here included Al-Qaeda's most hardened members and guys like 9/11 mastermind Khalid Mohammed. Inside, suspects would be chained to the ceiling, kept naked in freezing cold cells, forced into stress
This nigga's already level 16.
Oh, that's wicked, bro.
positions for prolonged
I'm struggling to get to level 5.
periods, and they were subjected to extreme sleep deprivation for up to 11 days at a time. These practices produced both physical and psychological.
He played this shit literally 24/7, even after he hit his prestige. Like, he literally played it 24/7 the whole wipe, and I gotta respect him. Like, he didn't burn out, he didn't get bored, he didn't play a different game. He was literally every single day. He stood consistent. He deserves it.
You wanna know how many PMC kills he had? He showed it yesterday.
5,000?
10.
No way. I was gonna say 10, but I didn't think you could get that high in a fucking wipe. That's crazy. Wow.
Psychological trauma, and in a couple cases, death. Now, proponents say that these tactics are unpleasant but absolutely necessary to have a safer America.
It was not torture. I don't believe it was torture.
While others say that these methods are a clear violation of human rights.
Were absolutely brutal, far worse than the CIA represented them to policymakers and others.
So it begs the question, does a guy like the 9/11 mastermind deserve basic human rights?
A soft approach is not going to keep a radicalized individual from hurting Americans. A soft approach is not going to alleviate the threats from a hardened aggressor. That's not how it works. The only way that you can have success against a hard, aggressive, radicalized target is to be able to demonstrate that you yourself are willing to pursue hard, radicalized techniques to break them of their will and spirit.
Do you think
what did they just do? They stuck something in his ass. What the fuck was that? He stuck something in his ass that was like a needle liquid, and it went into his, yeah, that's his ass, unless that's his penis.
The only way that you can have,
yeah, that might be his dick. That might be his penis he's sticking it in.
You wanna know what I think he's a high level right now?
Why?
He's boss farming.
Ah, smart, big brains. Yeah, big brains. That's how you do it. But look, this liquid right here goes all inside the
success
intestines.
against a hard, aggressive.
And I guess it hurts you internally, but it doesn't do long-term damage, as they put it. So it's like you don't know these things, right? Before this video, you don't know any of these tactics. So it's like, and there's still a million more that was obviously blacked out. So they're gonna do a bunch of things, and in your mind, you're like, oh, they're gonna kill me, they're gonna kill me, they're gonna kill me. Where it's like it's intended for you to break, and it doesn't hurt you in any way, except for I guess in the moment, not long-term, as they say. So I don't know.
Aggressive, radicalized target is to be able to demonstrate that you yourself are willing to pursue hard, radicalized techniques to break them of their will and spirit.
Do you think enhanced interrogation tactics work and should be continue to be used?
If executed per the black and white document, yes. If they're violated, no.
Now what you've...
I respect that. What'd you say, bro? What'd you say?
4,600 XP. For
killing a boss? Okay. Yeah, that's good XP. Good XP.
been seeing so far is enhanced interrogation.
So I like what he said there. He said that there's no, if you follow it by the book, it's good. But if you don't, like if you violate it, then it's kind of goes out the window.
Interrogation against a hostile foreign threat, someone who is not a U.S. citizen. But sometimes, in some scenarios, U.S. citizens are actually taken into captivity and put through some advanced interrogation practices. And that's what we're going to show you next. American citizens can't be struck. They can't be hurt. They can't be injured in the same way that we can with a foreign hostile target. However, you can use stress positions on them to encourage them to cooperate because it's still within the realms of the law based on the situation, the information that they have. So in this case...
Hi, I'm Jeff. I'm a former...
Y'all think we could pass this test, y'all? I almost want to test myself, y'all. I'm gonna get the family to do it, tie me up and do all these things, see if I can pass the test.
You want me to torture you?
Yeah, I would love to. You want to do a video?
Can I actually torture you?
Yeah, it gotta be like by the book though.
Defined by the book.
Whatever they do, the waterboarding, the tying of the zip ties, the blindfolding. Yeah, as long as there's no long-term damage. I don't know. Look up the rules, bro. I ain't in the CIA, G. But yeah, I'm down. I'm down for anybody to do it. I just want to see how long it would take me to.
I saw one torture way, and I was like, yeah, this shit, and anybody's gonna break.
Yeah.
Yeah, you tie them down to a chair, right?
Uh-huh.
You know how your nerves on your fingers are the most sensitive, right?
Okay.
Take a long ass needle, stick that shit into the tip of your fingers. You're gonna break.
Damn, that's tough. That's not even long-term damage too. That shit just gotta hurt. I need it the tip of the finger.
Nigga, that is long-term damage. The fuck, you're not gonna have no more feelings in your fingers.
Oh, okay. So no, I don't agree with that though. We gotta look up some rules. We gotta look up some rules. But that's what they say. They don't consider any of this torture. They consider these just strategies to get information out, and it's not torture because technically there's no long-term damage. Yeah. Now this is interesting. I'm down for it though.
Potential.
Wait, are you streaming the video?
Yeah. I'm doing a reaction to it.
Let's see.
Potential threat of potential suspects into a stress position for what could be
I don't know why they tie you down and then put you on your knees and cross your legs.
Why?
Because your legs, if you try to stand up and try to run, your legs is already falling asleep, so you can't go anywhere.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. The blood flow.
Yeah, keep cutting that shit off, so your foot goes to sleep.
Foot
and you try to get up and sprint.
Interesting.
Minutes, what could be hours, what could possibly be days.
Rubio, y'all, that man know too much.
Always understanding that they have the rights as an American citizen, and because they're American citizens, none of this would be done without oversight or purview by an American law enforcement agency, something like HSI or FBI or Homeland Security, some other.
I didn't know Homeland Security and HSI. That's the first time I've ever heard of HSI. I didn't know that those are part of the U.S. honestly.
Department of Justice organization. All right, stand by for steer position. Let's stand them up.
Homeland Security.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I didn't know that was part of us. Like I know we have the Army, we got the Marshal, we got the Rangers, we got a whole bunch of the Air Force.
You got CIA. You got.
I didn't know HSI. That's the first time I've heard of them.
Move to your knees, please, Mr. Dory.
I think his homie is gonna crack though. A lot.
Thank you. Let's make sure he stays in that position without support. This little thing feels like a weight right now, huh? Maybe just a little bit more. No? Let's get Tommy into position because Julian doesn't want to cooperate. We are literally after the same goal. I don't think that's the right position, Tommy. You know why Tommy's fallen over already? Because he's actually trying. Actually trying. Oh. You know, what's even easier than falling over is spelling a word. We're looking for a simple word. We're looking for July, Tommy. Can you give us July?
Like, think about it. They ain't even doing shit to you right here, bro. They ain't even doing shit. This is just your natural body weight. You leaning back, they just making it uncomfortable for your ass. Damn.
We're in June, pal.
Can you give us the spelling for July?
This sear position uses body mechanics to create unbearable feelings of joint pain. For me, it felt like the bone from my big toe to middle of my foot was going to snap.
No? It's not a big request, you guys. And let me make sure you understand one more thing. If we have to go beyond this position, the next one is worse.
In July!
How do you spell it?
J-U-L-Y, God damn it!
All right, let's get him out of here. Let's get him out of here. Let's get him out of here.
Okay, his homie stood strong. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't think that Tommy was gonna crack. I thought it was homie that was gonna crack.
Imagine being able to build anything.
I ain't gonna lie. That one right there is gonna hurt, but I'm gonna do my best to just not be in that position. You know, just gotta keep it moving.
If what you've seen in the field is at 100% of an interrogation.
If they was doing it to me like the way they doing it to them right now,
yeah,
I'm staying calm because I know this is not real.
Yeah. So like the agreement in the beginning was like, I'm gonna keep going pretty much until you answer the questions, and I have the same mindset where it's like I'm gonna keep going and shit like that too. But see, like if they told me like, all right, there's no way that I can get hurt, because there is a nurse standing by, I would definitely push it as much as possible. I would, and I would just keep trying to get through as many tests as I could. But he keeps getting to that point where he thinks that he can make it, and he definitely quits right before. So.
God damn it!
All right, let's get him out of here. Let's get him out of here. Let's get him out of here.
See how long his homie lasts. His homie's chilling, like he do this shit for a living.
If what you've seen in the field is at 100% of an interrogation, what did Julie and I experience in here?
There were moments where both of you were deep in the experience, easily experiencing 70 to 80% of what a proper interrogation would look like, an enhanced interrogation would look like. But they were moments, fleeting moments, where the panic set in, where the worry set in, where even though you knew you were in multiple rings of safety, you still wanted out. Tommy, how are you feeling?
We all know that our tax dollars have funded outrageous things in the last many years, but the fact that U.S. citizens do this, you said for days?
Depending on the crime and the organization that has the authorities to arrest, stress positions are fully legal.
Fully legal.
Would you say that was torture?
See, that's a stress position. That's technically not torture, but hey.
Back to that enhanced versus torture. I mean, it was not pleasant.
Anything that causes extreme discomfort and is done against your will, I would probably classify as a level of torture.
That's probably fair. Unfortunately, the way you classify it is not the way that it's classified in the actual confines of the law.
If you had the choice between...
He pretty much said, fuck what you gotta say, that shit means nothing.
Your brains out and kill yourself, or getting taken to a CIA black site indefinitely and seeing if you survive it, which would you choose?
It's a hard question, because with 2 children and a spouse, the chance to see them again is motivating. You would have to make that decision one day at a time. I would imagine I would not brains out because I would want the choice to go one more day to make that decision.
I think the only way to survive something like this is to have a God, a higher power, a deep belief in something that...
Bigger than yourself.
Yeah, otherwise it's impossible.
These two have withstood an incredible amount of discomfort. They've done absolutely admirable performance throughout some very uncomfortable situations, but there's still one position left that's available for use against US citizens, and I could not let myself shortchange you guys from this final experience.
He said, oh, y'all thought y'all was done? Fuck out of here. We got one more for y'all.
This might be a short one. We'll see.
Are you good at intense positions?
Need to put your forehead
Widen
on the
your
wall.
feet. Back up.
Spread your feet.
Forehead
and
to the
bring
wall.
those feet back.
Forehead to the wall. Back your feet up. Back your feet up. Don't move, sir. Put your heels on the ground. Back your feet up.
That's it. Back it up. Back it up.
So you want to come to Penn State, but with all the different campuses and majors
That one don't look too tough, but they look like they hurting. Gee, damn. Fuck.
Just let us know when you're done.
What are you thinking? It's been a long day, right?
Yeah,
No more secrets.
I don't think we have much more to tell him.
Fuck it. All right, cupcake, I'm out.
I got you, brother.
All right. We're very much.
What are you the
Bro, body weight, bro. Body weight took them out.
most proud of in yourself today?
That you guys were telling us off camera that Tommy and I had a pretty good simulation of what these things could be like, and that it wasn't just like a complete walkthrough.
And what are you the most disappointed in yourself about today?
It was bothering me when I knew there wasn't anything that could be done when it started with Tommy getting more than I was. You don't know how much longer that's gonna go on, and you're wondering, like, do I like try to jump out of the chair and make a scene? What's gonna happen to both of us if I do that?
You were saying off camera, I want to get the line right, but by having to do an evil task, it turns a good man evil. Or you have to dip your toes into evil. How do you deal with that as a man who doesn't view himself as evil?
Drink a lot of whiskey.
That dude is evil. Did you see the way his eyes opened up when he said drink a lot of whiskey? Yeah, there's no coping with it. Pretty much what he's saying there is you have to mask it with something else. You have to put a Band-Aid on it with something else. There's nothing that's going to allow you to forget it. It's either going to be some alcohol, something, you know? And he said drink a bunch of whiskey. That's the only way to really tell yourself like shit is all right.
Do you think the fact that we need to use enhanced interrogation techniques to protect Americans is an ugly truth that Americans need to swallow?
I won't say that they need to swallow it. I will say that it's a f***ing sad reality. If they want to face it and address it, that would be helpful. I would love for people to come together and say, first of all, why do we live in a society where we have to utilize these tool sets? Just f***ing do good. Be a good human being, and we wouldn't have to use these tactics. If you weren't doing evil against innocent people, we wouldn't have to come up with enhanced interrogation techniques.
Okay, so this is not for everybody, for any little thing. This is for people that they feel already do evil.
Today we got a glimpse into how the
I thought this was for just anybody where they're like, where's your mom? I don't want to tell you. And then they do this shit.
CIA conducted interrogations between 2002 and 2009, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts on what you just saw. For me, I'm still stuck in the gray area. On one hand, if I know that there's a guy out there with intel that can prevent a future terrorist attack, and that interrogating him could save my family or even you watching this, I would say throw the kitchen sink at this guy. Do whatever it takes to break him and get the information out of him. But then again, I think about the other side, the stories of men held in CIA black sites in places like Guantanamo Bay who may have been innocent. Take Abu Zubaydah, for example. He has been locked up for over 20 years without ever being convicted of a crime, and to this day remains in Guantanamo. That is a reality I wish on nobody. But folks, maybe the truth of the matter is that most things live in the gray area. This is something with no clean answer. Tell me your thoughts in the comments. I appreciate you guys watching, and to see more of Andy and Trevor, click their links in my description. New merch is on the site.
Yo, listen, man, don't do bad in this world, bro. They're gonna get your ass tied up, strapped up. They gonna put things in your and your buttocks that you don't really want. They're gonna put things in your penis that you don't really want. They're gonna fill up your insides with nasty shit that's gonna hurt you. They're gonna slap the shit out you. They're gonna waterboard you. They're gonna do everything you can't think of. And again, this is just half. He said 70%, but I don't believe that because there was too many pages that were blacked out that they couldn't show because it was such classified information. So there's strategies and tactic things. I don't know, yo. Do I want to do something like this though? I think so. I want to put myself to the test. But I also actually want to do like sometime in the future. I would love to go to like a military camp or something like that and see if I could do the boot camp thing, and see what that's about. Because I know that they do all of that stuff. They simulate it and all of those things. I've seen YouTubers do it. So yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Like, share, sub, and all those good things. Comment down below what else y'all want me to react to, and that's that, y'all. As always, lend a helping hand. 2 hands are better than 1, but 3 is always gonna be better than none. Literally, stay safe out there. Don't do anything silly. So silly things like this don't happen to you. I'm out of here, my boys. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that one.